Good morning, Michael. Good morning.
Morning, Alfred.
Yes, let's wait for the others to join.
Mm.
All right. Good morning, Maureen.
Morning.
Yes, good morning, Mimi.
Morning.
Yes, Monica is not yet with us, but we can start. Maureen, share your screen, kindly. Okay. So now we were creating a report to be able to compare the sales amount by order date and the sales amount by due date. And the measure that we created was to activate a particular connection between the date table and the sales table. That is the relationship. And we were having a problem with how the chart was appearing. On the side of Monica, when she joins, she'll be able to share her screen. It's a bit different from what we had Maureen, because
Okay.
yeah, she changed the columns, so the reference was different.
Oh,
So now we'll fix hers when she joins. So let's start from the relationship. Okay. So here, click on the first relation from the date to the sales. Click on the first one, just on the lines. Click on the S. So that is our active relationship from the date key to the order date key. Then the second one, I go to the second one, is between now the date key to the due date key, which we now want to activate. Then the third is between the date key, yes, great, and the ship date. Fine. So now let's go to the report view and work on our report so that we can have, what we want to achieve is to have two lines, okay, showing what was ordered. Is it what has been delivered? We're going to create our KPI on this to see if at all what is being ordered is what is being delivered, and if we are losing customers during that process between the order date and the due date. Is it because of time? Is it because of payment issues, delays? What is it? Okay. So click on the chart, then expand the sales to Michael. Just wait. Yours is already fine. Okay. Now we have our DAX there, which was sales amount. So that is what we want to fix. So click on our DAX. Just delete it. We write a new one. Click on the ellipses, just the ellipses there, and delete. We'll just write a new one. Okay. So go to data. Mimi, what we are doing, we are modeling. That's what we did yesterday.
Okay, it's okay. I'll follow along.
Yes.
I also don't have a machine to use because I'm not at work.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Now we want to create a new measure. And in this measure, we said we want to sum. But before we sum, we want to use a DAX that is called calculate. Okay, calculate will allow us to use an operation or a DAX that is called summation. Then that summation, we want to filter, and we want to filter by using that relationship between the date key and the due date key. So new measure. Make sure you before. Oh, sorry. Delete that measure from the customer. Make sure we select the sales table first.
Do I delete from here?
Yes, you can delete from
From
there.
X.
Great. Then select the sales table.
Sales table.
It's sales to. Sales to table. Sales to. On the right.
Oh, okay.
On the field. Okay. So then we want to write a new measure. New measure. Then we give our measure a name. Sales amount by due date. Right. Calculate. Then we start the summation. And we are summing from the sales table. We are summing the sales. Scroll down. We call it a sales amount copy. Then now, we want to use a particular relationship to filter. When you put a comma, there. We want now to filter. Use relations. Just delete up to where the copy is. Okay. Remove that comma first. Okay. Cells too. All right. Close the bracket, comma. Then use relations. Yes. Then we want now is go to the sales table. We want to take the due date from the sales table. Great. Then comma. Then from the date table, we are picking the date key. Yes. Then we close the bracket. Then we close another bracket now for calculate. Okay, so just as a refresher, what we're trying to do here, we're trying to activate that relationship that is inactive, and it is shown as inactive by the dotted lines. So then you can check, we can already see that the function is fine. So you can either enter or click on the tick. Yes. Now we go to the report. On the sales, click on the visual. On the visual, click on our visual. Then select now the measure. Great. Now go to the format, data colors. Change the one for to red or something that is more visible. Great. Control S, then stop there. Monica and Tabby, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, now I'll share your screen, Monica. Right, click on the visual. Now, if you look at the sale amount that you've used there, is the sale amount copy. Select the second one, not the first one. And our measure is based on the, the second one. Just expand this a bit. Expand the fields to the left. The field section, eh? So actually what I want you to do, delete that measure, we write it again. Right click. Remember, we can still write these measures still on the report view. Just right click on the ellipsis on the sales amount by due date and delete. Right. Delete also, delete sales amount copy. Go to the relationship. On the left completely. From the report view, go to the relationship view. Now, where we have the date, I want us just delete all those relationships. Click on the arrow, delete. Great. Right. Now let's start. From there, date key, go to order date key. Drag to order date key. That is the relationship that you want to be active. Drag it to the sales table, to the order date key. Yes. So that is our active relationship. Then now drag the date key again to the due date key. Then drag it to the ship date key. Okay, and then I saw there's some relationship that you had not created. Just scroll down. I want to see if all are there. From the one that you had sent. Let's see. Scroll to the left. That's fine. Now go to the report view. You can create the measures also from the report view. Now make sure that your cursor has selected the sales table. Click on the sales table on the fields. Just click there. Then now go to home. New measure on the calculations. Okay, so sales amount by due date. Then equals this, calculate. Then the expression here that we want to use is sum. Remember, we can also use an expression like max. We can use an expression like mean, average, all that. So sum. And we want now to go to the sales table. So the column is on the sales table. Sales amount. Yes. Close the bracket. Comma. Then we want now to use relationship. From the sales table, we are picking the due date. Due date. sales table due date. Due date key, due date key, due date key, the second one. Scroll up, due date key. Comma. Then from the date table, we want the date key. Double click on date key, the one that you had clicked. Double click on it. So what we had, this expression, close the bracket for the user relationship. Then again now for the calculate. Then enter. So basically we're just saying we want to get the sale amount by due date, but for us to be able to get the sale amount by due date, we can only activate that relationship, okay? Now, click on the visual, let's fix the visual. Let's fix it from, go to the sales table. We have already the month there. We scroll on the sales table. Scroll down. Select the sale amount. Then select the sales amount by due date. Now, how do you know a measure? The icon for the measure is, because it's a calculation, looks like a calculator. Go to the format. Data colors. Change the sales amount by due date to a color that is more visible. It's fine. I believe now we're on the same page. Tabby, you're there? Save. I believe now we're on the same page. Michael, this is what you had, right? This is what I wanted us to achieve yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Exactly. Because here, we are trying to compare if what is ordered is what is delivered, or the amount that is ordered. Let's say we are selling product, the order is 5 million, but you might find that the delivery, the amount that we are getting is around 4.9. Okay, so that is the deficit that we want to look at. So if you look at your visual, okay, the sale amount by due date trails slightly behind our sales amount, okay? And this now shows that we have activated that relationship between the date key and the due date key, okay? So I want us to create now another visual, but this visual will be a KPI, okay? So just next, adjacent to that, KPI on that row is 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth row, last icon, which has a red and blue. That is a KPI. So click on that. On the visualizations. not that visual, just put your cursor on the canvas. Make sure your cursor is on the canvas, on the white area. Yes. Then on the fourth row, last column, pick that visual that is there. That is a KPI. Fourth row, last column. Yes. So what is a KPI, Mimi?
Key performance indicator.
Yes. What does it signify to us?
Performance against a target, I think.
Yes. Very right. Performance against a target. Okay. So we already have our target. Our target would be what is ordered is what is sold. Okay. And if you look at KPIs, let's talk a little bit about KPIs. They evaluate an organization's performance in different areas, but now evaluating what we call quantifiable measures. Okay. And they give indication about the growth. Okay. By looking at measurable goals, because we cannot operate without targets. Okay. So we will always have a base value or a measure. Okay. And for us to be able to create a KPI, we want to have that measure. That is why we have created that measure of due date. Okay. So we want to compare the actual performance with the targets that have been set to see if we have fallen short. Sorry, if we have fallen short or we have hit the target. So this is just an analysis. Okay. So when we talk about low level, we have low level KPIs. This now we look at an individual. Okay, employees, okay, things like sales in different departments, things like marketing, things like if we are a production company, things like production. But we also have high level KPIs. And high level KPIs will display the overall now performance of the organization. This will be now a general insight of the entire organization's performance. Okay. So what we call a base value is a measure. Okay. For our case here is a sum of sales amount by due date. It might be an average. It might be something like gross profit. Then the target value is also a measure. Okay. A calculation, which this is now an absolute value. Okay. For instance, let's say we want to target selling units. Let's say we are selling units, or we are doing sensitization, and we want to reach 200 people. Okay, that would be an absolute value. Okay, or in our portfolio, in corporate, maybe corporate banking, we want to bring like 5 corporates in 1 month. Okay, so that will be our target or base value. Then we have what we call status threshold. This status threshold will provide a range, okay, to be able to evaluate now our base value and our target value, okay, or what you can call a high and low end of range between base and target. Okay, so we'll use these to measure progress, which can be positive or negative, okay, and also to measure the distance to a target or a goal. Okay, so now for our measure there, click on you're on the visual. Now we go to the sales table. Which is our absolutes. Monica. Monica. We can throw this to Maureen. Maureen, which is our base?
You're asking for an absolute value.
No, we want to first start with the base value, which is our measure. So
Click to
click on
product.
there. We want to deal with we want to compare the sales amount. This KPI is based on, it's about this visual. Okay, so click on sales amount. Sorry, click on first the measure, the sales amount by due date. Then click on the sales amount. Let me see what you have. Are we all getting this?
Yes.
Our indicator should give us something different. Just undo that. Let me see. Put a drag the sales amount by due date to the indicator. Click on the visual first. Then drag the sales amount by due date to the indicator. Drag it to the indicator. Or you can just, at the top there, add data fields here. Right now, on the right, you see where we have the properties for the visual. The properties for the visual, there's indicator. To the right, I'll just select it. We'll interchange them when they get there. Then select now the sales amount. Let me open my PowerBI. Just give me a minute. I share my screen. Can stop sharing for just 1 moment. I'll use the one that you sent me, Monica, the data model. Okay?
Okay.
Let me just open it. Tabby, I hope yours is fine now. It's already fixed. The visual, not the KPI. Michael, you with us? Or we lost you somewhere?
I am.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I had not fixed this, but it's fine. So now we are going to our sales table. Okay. We select the sales amount as the indicator. I want the target to be this. Then I want us to come to where the date is, because we need to have a timeline. And we can either use the year or the month. So from the hierarchies we created, we can decide to use the month. That fine?
Come again.
Okay. Now, our indicator is this measure that we have here, which is the sales amount. Then we have our target, which is our sales amount. That is the order date, that is taking the relationship from the order date. So the due date and the order date. But now for this visual to be able to work, we need to provide a trend axis. Are we looking at this trend in a month? Is this KPI supposed to be measured in a quarter, in an year, or in a month? So when you come to the hierarchy that you created here, which is fiscal, select, we can decide to use the month. Okay, someone now share.
Maureen, you can share.
Okay.
I prefer closing the Power BI because when it is open, it makes the PC a little bit slower on my end. Is it fine? Great. Now, let's look at that visual. That visual is telling us that our goal was, what our goal was and what was achieved. Click on that visual. Click on the visual. The month. So we are being shown the goal, and we're also seeing the amount that was delivered by the due date. Okay. So I want us to create now another visual. Then once we're done with the report, now we analyze it. Okay. So everyone has this. So we want now order quantity by reseller country. Order quantity by reseller country. Put that KPI just below, not there. The KPI, put it below the first visual, because we want to create a map. Okay. And that map, we want to place it to the right where the sales amount by due date is at. Perfect. Great. So now let's go to the reseller, because what we want to see, in which country the resellers have the highest order. Okay. remember we said the first report we want to see the highest sales in the year 2019, which you have there. Then the second one, we want to look at which resellers are making, we should invest in, okay? Which resellers we should invest in. And I talked about something like IBM, where you are a reseller of something like SPSS, okay? They will always give you promotional materials, they'll give you funds for billboards and all that. But the criteria they use to do that is if you're making more sales in that region, okay? So now from the field pane, go to the country, go to the reseller table. Okay, yes. Now I want to drag the country region. You can just click on it. Okay, country region. Okay, then from the sales table, I want to get the order quantity. Then I want us to change this to a map. So on the fourth row, first column here, the first one. Yes, I want us to be there. Oh, there's something I've seen you've done. From the country, select the country region from the hierarchy. Expand geography. We call it geography. Country, scroll up. That country region is what I want us to use. Then let's see, on the sales table, did we create a hierarchy there? Let's see, scroll down, I see. No, I don't have it, fine. Now, we want to make sure that now the country region, drag the country region from the legend to location. Drag it to the location. Then scroll down. I want us to bring, not this, just scroll up. Yeah, order quantities in the size, that's fine.
Alfred, come again. We are dragging the country region to the location.
Yes, scroll up more.
The one in the hierarchy.
Yeah, we are choosing the country region that is in the hierarchy. Then now when we come to the properties for the visual, scroll up more in. I want us to make sure that the order quantity is in the size. Then I do not want the country region to be on the legend, We want it to be on the location, where location is. You can just point where the location is. There, yes.
So we'll move it from the region.
Yes. Okay. Now the size of those the circles. If you click on any of the circles, the blue circles, of course we can also be able to filter the visual per region. Let's format those circles. Go to the format. We make them a color that is more visible. Bubbles. And increase the size a little bit. Something like 10. Remove the negative. Okay. Yeah, that will do. Let me see if there's anything else we need to. to change. Let's see if we can change the data color. Yeah, you can put a color that is more visible. Okay. Control S. Great. Now we want to create what we call sales amount by product category and reseller business type. Are we on the same page there on that report? Yep.
Sorry?
Are we all there? Pardon? Monica, we are there?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Mimi, you're following? And Tabi?
Yes.
Great. Now, the next thing we want to do is to take our sales amount by now product category and reseller business type. Okay. And this chart, we are creating it to investigate which products are sold by what type of reseller businesses. Okay. Now, just below the map, just click on the canvas, select a blank area, then select sales amount. Ours is sales amount, copy, yes. Sales amount, yes. Then go to product category. From the hierarchy, select category. Then go to reseller. Select business type. Business type. Okay. Now I want us to let me see, from the values we have our axis, we have category. Remove the business type from the legend, drag it up a little bit. Let me see what we can use there.
To where?
Where the product is, from the legend to where the product is. Just below, yeah. Change that to a matrix. I think a matrix will be well representative. Sorry. See what the matrix is on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th row, that column. Yes, there. All right. Let's all have that. And then now scroll up. We format this a little bit. Let's see the business type. No, just where we were, the first properties. We have our category. We have our business type. And on the values we have, yes, it's fine. It's fine. So if you have noticed by default, when we're creating these visuals, mostly if it is not a map, we are getting clustered column, mostly by default. So it is upon us now to decide which visual is where representative of our data set. So we all have a matrix.
Yes.
Okay, now go to the filters pane where we have business type. Click on the drop down. Something I want us to filter out there. Let's see. Select all, then remove blank. In some cases, you're going to get not applicable. Okay, so make it a little bit wide. Then we go to formatting now. Let's go to format. Okay. Now, we normally do conditional formatting in Excel.
Yes.
So we also are able to do conditional formatting here. Okay. So if you scroll down on the format, you'll find conditional formatting. Yes. And what we want to turn on is data bars. Scroll down, just scroll down. Turn on the data bars. Yes. Put together. Now, click advanced controls, advanced controls. Now for the positive bar, choose, I want us to have a lighter color for the positive bars. Yes. That can remain as it is, then okay. Then okay. Okay. Then let's align now the amounts. Minimize the conditional formatting. Scroll up, let's see what else we can change. The column header, increase the column header. Can make it something like 18 or 20, just something that is more visible. Okay. Then the row headers as well. Enter. Okay, then the values. Let's also increase the font for the values. The row headers have not changed yet. Text size, yeah. Yes. Then the values as well. Okay. Then let's align those values to the right. We've moved very fast. Let's slowly, a little bit. Let's see. Okay. No outline. Let's see. Just put it on right only. Then scroll down. Let's see anything that we can change as well. It's fine. Okay. Now, if you expand, if you go where we have now to the visual itself, if we go and click on the bikes, there's a plus. See, we have a plus on the visual, that matrix. If you go to bikes, there's a plus, just adjacent to the name. To expand, there's a plus next to bikes, components, clothing, accessories. Maureen, there's a plus there. On that, just on the visual itself. Just look at where the bikes
here.
are. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So if you click on that plus, it's to expand. Okay. So if you expand the bikes, you can see now we have see, we put category and business type. Okay. So we are able now to see that if you look at even, you can minimize a little bit. First things is that bikes have, for our case here, have a higher sales amount overall. Okay. If we drill down by clicking now on the plus, when we drill down by expanding, just like we're done, we see the business type called value added reseller sells the most, followed by warehouse. Okay. Then now the next thing is components. And in components, let's check in the components what is being sold. When you go to components, the warehouses are selling more than value added resellers. So if you are now planning to spend money on or to send merchandise, we will be sending bikes mostly to value added resellers, and we'll be sending components to warehouses. Okay. Data driven decisions. So now, I don't know if we'll put our slicer on the left, minimize the first visual we created. Push it to the right. I want to put the slicer just below where executive is. Okay. We are all together. Good morning, Stephen. Now, slicers are valuable tools that will allow us to filter. You see, we have done this before when we were creating these reports earlier, right? But all modeling that we were doing was getting us to this part. So we talked about slicers. I mentioned about slicers, right, Maureen? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And we said that they are quite valuable tools. Okay. And in our case here, we can create a slicer to maybe narrow our performance for maybe each month, each quarter, and maybe each year. So click on the canvas. Then on the fields pane, select from the physical hierarchy. From the date table, date table. Expand the date table, minimize the cells. Select now entire physical.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Stephen. Now change that to a slicer. By now, at least we all know where the slicer is. Go to the visual, choose a slicer. Let me see. Yes, great.
Alfred,
Yes.
what have you done? Umepotea kidogo, tafadhali. On the slicer. What are you selecting from the hierarchy?
We are selecting the entire physical
For the
hierarchy.
entire fiscal?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Then you go to the visualization and remove, select, go to the visual, select slicer, select slicer.
Where is it?
The slicer is on 6 row, first column.
First column, okay. I think now we are together.
All right. Now, we can do away with quarter and date, just on the fields. Remove the quarter and the date. Let's remain with year and month. We can just from the properties, Maureen, from the properties, on the fields, remove quarter and date. Let me see how that will work. Then the quarter, remove the quarter. Okay, let's remain with first year and month. Then now we go to format. Then now we can edit. We can increase the slicer header. That's great. Then we go to selection controls. That is actually very important. Then select all, turn that option on. Yes, great. Let's see what else we can change. Items, go to items. Increase also the font for the item. It's fine. Then you'll just drag it a little bit down. Drag the slicer. Great. Now, if you look at our slicer, we have financial year. Now, I want us to go to the fiscal year on the filter and remove the blanks. Just the same thing we've done with the matrix. Select all, then remove them. All right. Now, if you go to each financial year, there is a drop down. If you click on the drop down, this will expand now our days and months. So if it is a specific month, we can select a month there, okay, and say Saturday, July. We want to see what was the trend that particular year and that particular day. So if you select Saturday, the first one, select the year 20, the year, great. So you are also able now to drill down to specific months. The reason as to why our dates appear like this is because we used a format of day, month, right? Remember the format that we used? That is giving us the Saturday, then July, okay? Then the date, then the year. So we're able to drill down, and when we drill down, we can also be able to see the KPI. We're also able to see the sales amount per that day, by that year. Now, the last thing that I want us to, before we finalize on this, is to change maybe the theme. So you can, okay, so you can go to view ribbon.
How do you go back? Yeah.
Oh, just select all. Click select all. Yes. That's why on the selection control, we inserted the select all option. To be able also to select all. Yes. So on the view, go to view.
View, yeah.
On the view, we want to click on the drop down to show more.
Sure.
Just next to page review, page view, just on the left, where we have those themes. I want us to choose a theme. There's a drop down to have more. Yes. Hover down to E. When you put your cursor, every kidogo unaona the names. Just juu kidogo. Just put your cursor. I want to see where it is. Move on each. That is D. Enter to the next row. Look for E, executive. Since this is our executive summary. Yes. Yeah, okay. Right. Okay. Are we now all there?
Me, I'm not there.
Where have you left you?
Umeniacha
Tumekuacha wapi?
after filtering the slicer.
Yes.
What have we done next?
We've gone to view just to change the theme, to change the
Or
theme for the
you're
report.
just going
Yes.
to change the theme.
Yes.
So you're going to the drop down and
Then
selecting.
executive.
Is it written?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, just hover around. you'll you'll find it there.
Oh, okay.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
We also formatted the slicer.
We formatted it earlier where we just added the select all for the selection control, then the size.
There's the size, huh?
Yes.
No colors.
No colors.
Nini ya Morini nakaa supu kushinda yangu. Morini iko colored, yangu iko blank.
Ladies and colors.
Oh, okay.
It has to look good.
You know how to match.
Yes.
Okay, then.
Okay. Now you can save that report. So these other editings, like going to each of the visual, maybe Maureen, you can go to each of the visual and increase the title to something like 20 so that it can be more visible. Format, yes. No, I do not want us to have let's just scroll down to where the title is. Title. Actually, let's change this title. Call it sales amount by order date. Sales amount by order date. / due date. Enter. Then add the text size, increase the text size. Okay, then let's go to the map.
Yep.
Change that title. Let it be order quantity by reseller country. By reseller country. Then text size. Okay, then let's see something else. We're still there on the map. Just go to the map. There's something I want us to do there. Minimize the title. Minimize the title. Scroll up. Go to map styles. Then I want us to change that theme to grayscale. Yes. So we can be able to play with these properties. Change the title for the KPI as well. Then we're good to go.
Sales amount by.
Or the title, let's say sales, just call it sales amount by due date, by sales amount by order date slash due date KPI. And enter.
I don't think this one changed.
Let's see. Yeah, that one did not change.
Sales amount by.
Okay. Now we can proceed to Control S to save.
Control S.
Then publish. And now you can proceed to log in, to the cloud.
Destination will be my workspace.
Yes. Okay. Then let's log in. And also check on your mobiles. Check on cloud. That's fine now. Oh, you don't share the PowerBI, eh? Not the entire. Yeah. Then I want you to pin that report to a new dashboard called data model.
Kindly remind me where I was going.
Oh, select the report, data model. You see, we have a report and a data set. So click on the report. Let it load. So that is the report we've just created. Okay. So pin it. Still loading. Click on the three ellipses and pin it. It is
On? On?
pin it on a new dashboard, called data model.
On this.
Pin to a
When I
dashboard.
click on this,
Now a new dashboard. Then give it a name.
name
Call
would
it
be
data model dashboard. Data model dashboard. Pin live. Create mobile layout.
just disappeared.
It's fine. Just now check it on. You can check it on your phone now. Okay. So how does it appear on your mobile? It's fine.
I think I did download the app.
Okay.
I can download.
Yeah, you can download. You'll check when we are taking our break in the next 2 minutes, so that you can come now and proceed on DAX.
Okay.
So Monica, we are all there.
Yes, we are.
Great. Tabby. Michael, Steven.
Me, I'm good. I'm on the mobile.
Yes, on the mobile is good.
Yeah.
Mimi, you're following?
Yes, I'm still following.
All right, that's good. So that is creating our data model. And you've seen that more of the work is not about the visual, okay? The visual is just the last leg, okay? The work is in preparation of your data in a way that it will make meaningful results. Now, for this report that we have here, we can be able to show sales amount by due date, and we can choose different years. If we say we want to look at 2020 or 2019 or 2018 and see the performance, we can do that. We can be able to go to the order quantity by reseller country and see where we should be investing in. Then we can also drill down and see in which products or which categories of products and which business type we should be also investing more in. And also we can be able to look at a KPI and say this was our target, okay? And this is the real scenario. So did we achieve that target? Because sometimes you might get some KPIs. You can have even more than one. You can get a KPI that will tell you you fell short of your goal by something like 5%. Okay, so this is the information that we want to be able to share. But this information came from preparation of the data model. Okay, we can take 15. Take some coffee.
Yes.
And in 15, that will be 9:35, eh?
Yes, 9:35.
Okay, see you in 15 then.
Okay.
Right, we can go on. Is everyone here? Monica, you there?
Yes, Ame.
Okay. Great. Now, let's go back to the desktop. Maureen, take us back to the desktop.
Desktop.
Yes. We can just have just open a new Power BI, call it DAX.
Got me.
It's a new.
Zafred.
Yes.
Yes, I'm back.
Great. So
Nimesikia DAX nikikaribia. So
open a new one, a new Power BI
Umesikilia
desktop.
wapi? Ulikuwa tu karibu.
Amesikilia mahali huko.
So tufunge it, we open a new one.
Yes, that one you can just save it, and we already saved it, so you can close it.
Okay.
Close that on the right. DAX. All right. So now we have done the entire process of doing some measures, KPIs, and going all the way to publishing, creating gateways. But let's get back and discuss more on this animal called DAX. Okay. And we say that it stands for, Monica, what does it stand for?
Sorry, I can't remember.
Data expressions.
Yes, data analysis expressions. Yes.
Sorry?
Data analysis expressions, DAX. Data analysis expressions.
What did you say?
Data analysis expressions. Let me just put it on chat. Let me just put it here on chat. Data analysis expressions. That is DAX. Okay. So these kind of expressions, okay, or we can even, they are expressions or formulas, okay? And we use them for data analysis and calculations, okay? We have just used two. Sorry. We have just used them for the calculate, sum, and the use relations. So at least now we are seeing some of the type of DAX that are there. Okay, so these expressions, we can call them a collection or combination of functions, operators, and some constants, okay, that will be evaluated as just one formula to give us a result or a value, okay? And they are very important or very useful in BI tools, like Power BI. You know, Power BI is not the only BI tool that we have. Okay, we have things like Tableau. Okay? But now these DAX are important for BI tools to assist us as analysts to use our data set to the fullest potential. Okay, so with the help of DAX language, we are going to discover new ways to calculate some data values, okay, and get new insights. Okay, so some of the key points about DAX is that let's have 3 key points before we even start crunching in any data set. That this is a functional language. Okay, its complete code is always a function. Okay, so any executable DAX expression will contain a conditional statement, will have nested functions, will have value references, right? And we have the second thing to note is that we have 2 primary data types. We have numeric and non-numeric. Okay, so non-numeric will represent other type of data set that are not numbers. Okay, so for the numeric, of course, that will be decimals, currencies, integers. Okay, then for a numeric, we can have like a string or even binary objects. So here we'll also be able to look at things like true, false, or yes, no. Okay. Then the third thing is that these expressions are evaluated from the innermost function. Okay, going to the outermost one at the last. I talked about nested if statement or nesting if statement within like if and. Let's say if and or. Okay, we'll start from the innermost function. For our case, we started with use relationship. So we activated the relationship between the sales table and the date, a relationship that was not active. After activating that relationship, we moved to the left and did a summation. Okay, then we moved completely to calculate. Okay, so we are going to start from the innermost function, going to the outermost. Okay? So formulating this DAX formula is very important. Okay, but we will understand that we'll be able to use some mixed data type. Okay, so why would we want to complicate our life? Of course, what you're doing is just an introduction to DAX. At least now we'll be able to. This is an entire other field completely. Okay, because we'll get to points that we are talking of complex formulation of DAX. But for our case, we're going to start with a known, then a little bit of some unknown. Then as we proceed, when you get new data sets, you'll be able now to even explore more. Okay, so it is very efficient, okay, to allow you to create I can call it a decent report, okay, with some good variables. Look at how we created a KPI. Okay, that KPI if we had not created that measure or that calculation, would not be able to compare our orders and our delivery, okay, to see if what is being ordered again is what is being delivered. Okay, so the syntax will always start with the name. Then after the name, now we start crunching our function. Okay, all right. Now I want us to enter data. Okay, do you remember how we were entering data? We want to enter data. This time round, I do not want us to pick any data set. I would just want us to enter data. So on home,
Editor.
there's enter data after SQL server. There's enter data. Yes. So wait there. Okay? Wait there. So I think it is important to discuss types of DAX functions that we have. Okay. And before we even get to, you see, like we have financial functions, we have text functions in back in Excel. I'll keep referring to Excel. As I said, we want to start from known to unknown. Okay. So a DAX can refer to a complete column, okay, or a table, but it will not refer to individual values. Okay. That fine? If we want to use these functions on maybe some separate values within a column, we need to apply filters. Okay? We need to apply filters in our DAX formula. Okay? But it also will allow us to have that flexibility to have to apply these filters on a row-to-row basis. So some will return a full table, which can now be used in other DAX formulas that will need now that complete set of values. But now you'll not be able to display the table's content. Then we have a category that is very important, which is known as time intelligence. Okay? And these are functions that are used to calculate time or date ranges and periods, mostly for forecasting. Okay? So we have some date and time functions. So here we have so many. We have things like day, date, calendar, month, hour. Okay? We have today. Same things that we have back in Excel. To mention but a few, we have weekday, we have week number, things like, yeah. Okay? Then we have now the time intelligence functions that will give us end of quarter, closing balance, next quarter, okay? Last non-blank, next month, such kind of functions. Then we have information function. Mimi, what are information functions in Excel? Are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. I've just forgotten. I don't know how to describe them.
So information functions are those functions that are supposed to give us information based on maybe some rows or columns. So to look at some conditions and return either a true or false. So things like is error. Remember, is error is blank if we have a blank row or a blank column. Is number, is non-text, is text. You remember such kind of values that we functions that we worked on?
Yeah.
So these are functions that are supposed to give us just information based on some rows or columns. So is blank, is error, is even, such kind of functions. Then now we have logical functions. Stephen, what are logical functions? Steve, you're with us? Let's throw this to Michael. Michael, logical functions?
I think logical functions are the ones that tell us whether they return a true or false description.
Yes, perfect. Okay. True or false. So things like if a condition is met, things like and, or, if, not, if error. Okay. Those are logical functions. Then we have other DAX functions that now give us mathematical and trigonometric functions. Okay. Things like ceiling. Okay. These are just mathematical functions on some referred values. Divide, even, cos. You see, such kind of functions are trigonometric. So then we have other DAX functions that now give us statistical. These are statistical functions. Okay. Average, count, count A, count blank, count rows, common things. max A, okay? Then we have text functions. Can you see now, if we have worked with these functions in Excel, here it will also become a little bit easier, because we find that most of those functions are here, but most of the Excel functions are in DAX, okay? But DAX is greater than that. So we also have text functions, len, lower, proper, okay, trim, okay, upper for the cases, all that. But now we have another function that is called parent-child function. Okay, these now are what we call functions that are used for data values that are part of a parent-child hierarchy. Things like path item, path length, okay, and then now we have other functions, and these do not fit in any particular category. Okay, but they are quite useful functions, like data table, okay, union, intersect, var, summarize, such kind of functions. And we have now the last but not the least, the table functions. So table functions in our DAX are going to be, we are going to use them to apply operations and conditions on the entire table. So our output is used as input in other expressions or arguments. Okay. Here we are going to have things like filter, values, distinct, related tables. Of course, we're not going to use all these functions. We are going just to pick some that are more popular or on a day-to-day basis that I believe that you might be useful to you. Okay. So, so the context of a DAX, okay, is quite essential, okay, in understanding now how this works. And we have two types of context. We have a row context and we have a filter context, okay? So a row context means taking into account a specific row that has been filtered, okay? And it will focus on the operations of the formula, right? And this is often applied to the measure rows. Use relationships, okay? Use relationship. What we did with that measure, we worked on that measure by doing a filter. The context was on a particular row because we are picking a date. If you go to the date table, all dates are in one column, okay? But when you come now to the sales table, we have some dates that are linked to due date, okay? So it will look at that context of the due date in that row, okay, and conduct a filter. That is what we call a row context. Then now we have another context that is called filter context, which is now calculate. Okay. These will focus on what we call, you can call them values in values one step. I think you can call them values one step ahead. Okay. So in row context, we are filtering out and applying operations on specific rows. But in our filter context, the expression applies now a filter which will focus on specific values within a row. Okay, so it will be applied in addition to the row context to narrow down now that scope of our calculation. Okay, so when we use functions like calculate, filter, related, all, okay, we are using those DAX functions in a filter context. Okay, great. Now let's start our work. Now we can create these two measures. We can create the measures in two ways. First, we need data, right? First, we need data. So let's give data. Let's give data. Let me see if we can still use just a few minutes. Let me see if we can still use the data from before we start crunching this. Let me see if we need to write a new data set. Yes, just type their customer ID. Customer, you can just write it as cast underscore ID, cast underscore ID. Then you can have some numbers. The other one will be units. Okay. Units. Okay, now on the cast ID, let's have numbers like we can have 101. That's random numbers, 101, 101. The first one, I have it as 101, 102. It's okay. The order does not matter. It's fine. Something like 111, 125, 135, and 137. Then on units, 20, 90, 50, 20, 60, then 10. Okay. Let's all have that. Are there? We all there? Michael, you with us? Monica?
Yes, yes, Doctor.
Okay. Chabi, you there? Monica, you with us? You have the data
Yes,
set?
yes.
Yes, I'm there.
All right. Great. Now we have already created that table. Okay. Go to the data. Just expand the fields first. Expand the fields.
It's refusing.
Are we to load the table first?
Yes, load. Oh,
I
we
think so.
sorry, we have not loaded. Just drag it up
rename it?
and load. Yes, we did not
We
load.
rename
Sorry.
it. Do we
Yes,
rename it?
yes, rename it and load. Just scroll up. Yes, from your screen. Yeah.
What do we call it?
You can call it DAX example. From where we have the name.
Oh, here.
Hmm.
That's
DAX example.
mm. Queries that haven't been applied. Okay.
All right. Still loading. I want to see it on. Yeah, it's already there. Now, we want to create a calculated column from that table that we have there. Okay. And all right. So we can create this by just going to new measure. Let's call that measure table underscore cast C, which is customer count. Table underscore yes. Now we want to now go to equals.
Red count so that I don't.
Yes. We want to count the number of customers we have. Of course, this is a small data set, which would have just counted. I think we just have around 5 or 6 customers. But now we want to calculate this number. So we are going to use distinct. Distinct. Put your cursor there and read what distinct says. Yes. Let's read for us.
Returns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
Alfred,
Yes.
it's not giving me the function in it.
It's not
How do you
giving you the.
calculate? How do you calculate when you get to the, when you go to the table?
Yes.
Then you measure.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so.
Okay.
So the measure is what we are calling cast ID.
The table cast. It's a customer count. We just made it shorter. Cast count. Table cast count.
Okay. Okay.
Read for us now where distinct is.
Returns are one column table that contains the distinct in brackets unique values in a column for a column argument, or multiple columns with distinct unique combination of values for a table expression argument.
Yes. So we want to count only distinct. So tab or double click. Let me see.
I
Remove
think I
one
have
of.
an extra bracket.
It shouldn't give us a problem.
Mm.
Let me see. Yes. Now look for our table is called DAX example. Then customer ID. Close the bracket. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see. Just change the. Are you also getting the same? Click on the. Just
Mine
tick.
is okay.
Yours is okay. Enter. I'll tick. Let me see if it will. It's fine. Okay. Now, if you take now that, if you go to now the fields and click on the count.
Alfred, huh?
Yes.
I think you are leaving me behind.
Sorry.
You say the table. My table is table cast, so I select the table cast.
Oh, your table is called?
Table underscore cast.
That is the, just share, just for a minute. Share, Michael.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. No, oh, your table is a table. Yes. Your table is now table cast. Yes.
So I pick the table cast.
Yes. And the column that has custom, the second one.
The second one, the one that has ID.
Yes. All right. Now you can proceed. Great. Now select that column on the field. I want us to create a visual with it. Click to check it. Yes. Then change that to a card. Change that to a card. A card is on the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth row. Fourth row, yes. Let me see.
Alfred.
Yes, select table cast count. Select that column select the measure.
Yeah, because I'm experiencing the same thing.
Let me see. Delete, go to data.
Where do we delete?
Delete that visual. Go to data. Let's see. We have that number. Click on that measure. The whole number. That's fine. Let's go back to the visual. Let's add more. Let's add more so that it will be able to bring it. Yeah. Okay. Let's add more ducks.
Oh, okay.
Let's add more ducks. Okay. You can delete first that measure.
The previous one.
No, not the measure, the visual. That visual that we have created.
Okay.
Then I want us to add a column on our table. Let's call it. Let's see. Let's go to our data view. Add a column. We can either add a column from here, or we can go to query. So go to query editor. I prefer us using the query editor. Okay, add a column. Add column on the ribbon. We do not want to bring a custom column first. I wanted us to add a column that has the name of the customer. Duplicate.
This one.
I'll do this. Copy. Make a copy so that we do not mess with the first one. A copy of the query. Go to DAX example on the left. Make a copy.
Do I copy or duplicate?
Duplicate. Then duplicate that column that has units. Then name that as a customer name. Just double click on the unit copy.
Duplicating the, or we are getting a customer name.
Yes, customer name.
Alfred, I'm lost.
Okay. Where
we are duplicating.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where are we getting that thing for duplication?
Where the query is, just see where Maureen has placed her cursor. You can delete and do it again, Maureen.
Then we duplicate and then select this.
So mine has copy table.
No, just duplicate. Duplicate. You do not have duplicate on yours?
No.
Okay, copy.
Is it giving me anything?
Let me see. Share.
Sorry. Where did it go?
On the fields, go to query editor. Then from the query now, duplicate.
This is the step I was missing.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the unit copy, we are calling it customer name. Customer name, right? Enter.
You change the data type.
First, we click on the column. There replace values before we change the data type.
Okay.
Then replace the values. You can either right click or go to the home tab. You can give it your name.
Full name or one name?
It's fine as long as it's a it's a name. Let's see what you first change the data type. Sorry, Michael, you are very right. Change that. That will change that to
Text.
Change the rest. Okay. Close and apply. Now, before we go back to the other side, I want you to come and hide the DAX. Go to DAX example, the first one, right click. Then on enable load, don't load. Yes, untick and check that. We will load it later. So as we discussed in queries, there are some tables that you can have them in our query editor, but you do not need to load them. Okay. So when you close and apply, home, close and apply. We find that the only table that has been loaded is the DAX example. Okay. Click on it. go to table properties. Table properties. And it's ours is table tools. Let me see. Before we create a new measure, let's create a new table with product ID. New table. New table. After the new column, you see we can create a column here or a table. Okay. Actually, click on that example. Instead of a new table, just click on new column. Let's create a new column from there. So we can create a new column in two ways. We can either go to the query editor and duplicate a column and replace values, or we can as well come to the data view and create a new column there. So in some versions, you'll get, instead of table tools, you'll get that as modeling. I don't know if anyone has that kind of a version. Is it there? Click new column. Call that product ID, product underscore ID. What's happening?
When I click on this, it goes
It's
back.
disappearing.
It disappears.
Oh,
When you click on this, oh, we name from here. No.
Yes, you can name. Yeah, you can name it from there. Remove the new column. Remove the new column first. Remove the new column. Remove that new column. Remove that new column. Cancel. I want us to create something like a customer. We have already customer ID. We have product ID. I wanted us to have a column to have product ID. So let's go to our query. Let's go to our query. Edit query. Then on the first table, which was DAX example.
This one.
DAX example. Change custom. Change where we have units. Call that, yeah, double click on that. Call that product ID. Yes, that's fine. Then those products ID change. I want us to have like 4 numbers. The DAX that we want to write, we want to extract. We have product ID already. So we want to extract now. Maybe from the name of the product, we want to create an ID from maybe the last 2 digits of that ID. Okay. To get something like a product code. So type something like 1102. Okay. 1105. 1201. 1207. Then maybe something like 1290. Okay. Now I go to data example 2. DAX example 2. Merge queries. Yeah. Now bring the other table there. DAX example. Click on the drop down. Customer ID. Okay. Then okay.
Where is merge queries?
On the home tab, where Maureen is pointing at, on the home tab. merge queries. You found it?
Still looking for it. Oh, okay. It is what down. Combine.
Oh, yes, under combine.
So after you click on merge queries, you
You
say
can,
okay.
yes, have you everything is matched? There's a tick at the bottom.
I don't see anything.
Share, I see. You found it?
No.
Share your screen. Let me see.
I think Maureen has to stop sharing first.
Oh, okay. Where we have no preview is available, you need to select now the other table.
Sorry?
You need to select the other table, the one that you're merging to this one.
First,
So
go back.
now click on the drop down. It's fine.
Sorry?
Merge now.
See, this is the table too.
Yes. So merge. Or yours is a combine, merge. Then you need to select the table, the second table that you're merging to table one. So there's a drop below DAX example. There's yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I select this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Then which columns are common? You need to first you see the okay is grayed out. So you need to select column.
Which ones?
Which is the common column there?
The custom ID.
Yes. Then customer ID of the second table. All right, I can proceed.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, let's go on. Filter. Use original. Select product ID. All right. Now we can close and apply. We are all there?
Are we using the original as a prefix?
No.
Okay, we uncheck that. Huh?
Yes. Okay, so we are all here. Monica, you're there?
Yes.
Okay. Now we want to create a new column. Okay. And this new column now is not like the product ID we've created here. We want to create a column called product code. Okay. And we want now to go to where we have the product ID and extract, we can say 3 characters that we get one, like what we had with customer ID, 102, 105 to have 200. Yeah. So new column, then call that column product code. Product code. Okay. Then now equals. We want to use a text function. Yes.
We add in a custom column, Mama.
No. We are in. Are you back to Power BI? We are already away from the query editor.
Or we are from the, or we go back to,
We
we
are on
load
the
this,
data.
we close and apply.
Yes. Then change to data view.
Mhm.
So we are naming this column from the formula bar.
Yes.
So we get a new column.
Yes.
We call it
Product code.
is it a calculation?
Yes. We want to use the right function to extract 3 characters from the product ID.
Okay.
So on the equals, type right. Let's proceed now, Maureen. Right. Type right. Oh, right ya mkono, right, not kuandika. Type the function right.
I don't get what you're saying.
I'm saying you type the function right.
Oh,
RIGHS, right. Yes. We want to extract 3 characters. Tab on double click. Now, we need to specify the text that we want to extract from, okay, and the number of characters, okay. This is now a row context. This is a row context. There is no filter here, okay. So from our table, which is called DAX example 2, so you call the table product ID. And the number of characters, so you need to put a comma there. The number of characters we are extracting is 3 characters. Close the bracket. Enter, I'll tick. Do you all have that?
I do.
Great, Michael. So we can be able to not only create measures, look at the icon on the field, okay? Check the icon on the field. This is now not a measure, but we have used DAX to create a new column, okay? In a row context, okay? In a row context. Great. Now, we also want now to create a new measure. So we go to new measure. New measure. Let me see if we need to, first we need to do another calculation that will multiply. First, before the new measure, let's first create another column now that will, we have, did we have the price? We did not put the price, eh? We only had,
no, we don't have the price.
let's have the other measure that we had created previously to do a count.
So where do I go?
New measure. we'll still call it a custom account. Distinct. So it is DAX. So we can use, because I can see we have unique. Let's use now this time the customer name, because the customer name, we have two Maureen. We have Maureen on the first one. That's customer name. Close the bracket. Enter. Now we want to bring cost. We want to bring cost, and the reason as to why we want to bring cost, we also want to create a measure that has maximum or average sales, So let's bring a column. So we'll have to go to query for this one.
Should I enter this first?
Yes, enter first. Great. We are all there?
Yes,
Are
yes.
we? All right. So now let's add a column that has amounts, so that now we can multiply the units and amount. So this, we have to do it in the query. So now when we come here, we'll do a max or an average. Duplicate the product ID. Call it amount. Then you can play with the amount. There you are free to replace these values with anything.
Can you also use random function to randomize this, or it's not possible?
We can use random in we can randomize in DAX. We actually will still do that.
So here we have to do one by one.
So we'll randomize. Actually, just do that. Just remove that column for amount. Then great. Remove. Let's go to our DAX. Close and apply. Then create a new just wait. Create a new column. Call it amount.
Oops.
Rand.
Run the change.
Yes. Specify now.
Let's see.
That number you've put a comma on the 10,000.
Oh, I removed.
Yes. Then
Okay.
Great. Now, actually, let's even work from here. Then we have all randomized. We'll get different figures. Michael?
Yes, I have.
Great. Now, another column that now will calculate the unit times the amount. So new column. We can call this maybe gross amount or net? So here we can use two types of functions. We can just multiply these two columns manually, or use multiply. Type multiply. You have multiply with you there? No. Let's call that. Do you have just select a see if you have multiply?
No, I don't have.
Let me see if product is there. Product.
Yes.
Double click.
So what is the difference between product and product X?
Now, for product X is where we want now to start filtering. You'll also find something like count X or some X. Yeah. Although for most of the versions, like if you put product X, it will work the same way. Just you can try product X. Now, for the product X, we need to have the table and an expression. Okay. Yeah. So just use, let's use product. So here is where we want to filter. Let's use product. It is giving us just a summation. Remove that. Remove that.
What?
Remove the product completely. Type divide. Something I want to achieve here. Divide. Double click. Yes. Let's make this change the gross amount. We'll call it unit cost. Let's assume this amount that we have generated here as random was the entire gross amount. So we want now to
So we change this to unit cost.
Yes, unit cost. I'll check how we'll be able to use product. So then divide. Tab. Which is our numerator. The amount.
I have to get the table.
Comma. Then the unit. All right. Enter. Great. Then you can reduce the decimals. Go to column tools. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. So you can see that is a currency. Then let me see where we have outer. Yeah, change. Yeah. All right. We all have that. We all have that.
I do.
Great. Go to the amount also, change it to currency. Now, if you look at what we have been able to achieve, if you take this data back, if you go to the query, okay, currency, yes, fine. can put again 1 decimal 2, fine. Okay, Control S. If you go to our query editor where the data was picked from, these columns, just check, just back to the query editor. You see where the columns end at? Yes. Anything else that we have created there, we have created new columns by using DAX. So using DAX, we can be able to create new columns, okay? And we say that that is the row context. And we can also be able to create measures. And our measures now will look at filter context, okay? We go back to data. Okay, so sort, although even if we sort, there's no need to sort. There's no need to sort. Although we can still sort by. Now, when you go to sort by, we can decide to sort by column ID, customer name, product code, or product ID. Okay. For example, if we had months, January, September, like that. Okay. Actually, let's have a column that has a month. Let me see where we can create that from. Let's see. That one we'll have to create it because we need to have a data. Okay. Although we can still create a column there by saying rand between. Call that. I can call it month or date. Head date. Remember, dates are stored as numbers. Okay, so we can run between 1 day, 1 and 365, or the last 90 days, or the last 20 days, or 30 days. So 30. It's fine. Close the bracket. Enter. Now, column tools, change the data type. Change from whole number. Do we have a date there? No, not at all. We need to create these dates from. Let's generate. How many rows do we have? 6, eh?
Yes, 6.
So rand between. Let's see if just go to that DAX. We see we can generate that. Remove rand between. Let's start with today. Yes. Minus.
Today minus.
Minus should be outside the bracket.
Come again.
The minus should be outside. Remove the minus, equals to today. Tab. The syntax for today is just closing the bracket. So where the cursor is, just put minus.
Minus.
Rand between. One day. And 365. Enter. Great. So that now, you see, we have introduced a format, okay? Guys, we are moving together. You see how this becomes easy when we start learning the functions that we need to work with, okay?
So I don't understand this formula and the date that is here.
Now, we'll change the format of the date. So what today does gives us today's date, okay? Minus now a random date between 1 day and 365 days.
Oh.
So we would have even removed, it's not a must we have the rand between. When we remove the rand between, we can say today minus 365 days, or today minus 90 days, okay? But let's use it as it is, equals to today, so that we are able to also practice on both functions. Michael, we are there. Monica, you're there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Mimi and Sabi are very quiet today.
I'm here.
You're following, huh?
I'm here too.
I'm trying.
Yes.
All right. Toby, are you with us?
Yes.
All right. So we can be able to remove now the time. You see, we have date and time. So we want to remove the time from this date. And it is just changing the format. Just at the format or the data type. Just go to data type and change. At data type at the top there. Sorry. So we can either change it from the first change on the data type first.
Oh, it's the data type.
Scroll to the left. Screen imejaa kwa macho.
Do you have data type on the DAX?
I can't see it.
Yes.
Do you have the data type on the DAX?
It's on the left.
Yes, we do.
On the far left.
Yes. So we want to change
table tools.
Column tools.
Under column tools.
Yes. Make sure the column is selected.
Okay.
So we want to, instead of date and time, we want to just choose date. Date. Yes. Right. Then go to the format. Now, I just want it to be a date, a normal date, the first one.
This one?
Yes. Great. Now, from this date, we can be able to extract, the year, the month, and we can also be able to extract the day. So back in Excel, when we're extracting these, we use text. Of course, we have a function like equals to month. Month will give us the month number, right? Month number. But we do not want to use the month number. We want, instead of using the month number, actually we can have the month number so that we can also generate the quarter from here. Okay. So now we want to create a new column. Okay. We want to create a new column. Can even create from there, new column. This will be month, month number. Equals to month. We want to give now a date. So select the date. Say table name, DAX, example. Type the table name, DAX example. Date, the column that has the date. Close the bracket and enter. All right. Now we are going to use this month number to generate the quarter. But before we generate the quarter, we also want to get the month name. Okay. So the next column that you're going to have is month. Now, not month number, but month. Sorry, don't type month first. Yeah, remove that. So we're back in Excel. We have text that allows us to format a month in a particular, to get the month name equals to text, all that, okay? So that function in DAX is called format. So type format. And if you see, you can write very long, format. You can write very long expressions. So when you want to have more space, on the right where the formula is normally checked, there's that drop down. You can click on it to give us more space. So the value is the date, the column that has the date.
Do I select the?
Yes, date, comma, open the parenthesis, type M 3 times, or just 3 times, yeah. Close the bracket.
Parentheses, I'm a bracket.
3 times, M,
Parentheses.
parenthesis. Are those 3 M's?
Yes, yeah.
Remove first. Type the M without the parenthesis. Close. There's an error. Put parentheses on the names. It shouldn't be giving us this kind of an error.
So Alfred, after comma, what are we doing?
We want now to specify the date we are formatting it into what.
Okay. So you're opening parentheses.
Yes.
Then triple M.
Yeah. Close the bracket. I want to see if that issue is still giving us an error. Close the bracket. Enter. Yes. So if you put 3 M's, you're going to get the short form of the month, the short form. If it is 4 M's, it will give us the full. If you add another M next to the 3, inside the parentheses, and enter. Yes. So to get the day, create another column to get the day. Call that weekday. Goes to format, do the same. Now replace, instead of MMM, use DDD. Yes. It's fine. For the year, just put equals to year.
But a new column, right?
Yes. Mhm. No, just yeah. You just because it's a number, you can use yeah. Although these will still work, y, but since this is a number, it will still work. You can try it.
I remove this.
Yeah, the y just like what you do in Excel will still work, but since it's an year, there's a function that is called yeah. I'm saying where we had the parentheses would have put y. Yeah, yes. Equals to yeah, yes. And the date.
So that is from the
Yes. All right. Now, if you go to our report, report view, we can choose now to get, I want you to get, let's see. We don't have the product. Go to customer name, select customer name. Now, everything that we have created from the other end, okay, is on that drop down where we have date, month, product, all that. Okay, so we have here we have customer, get the amount, expand the date, get the month. Actually, you can see the month is already there. There's no need to expand. Select the month. Okay. Yes. Now, we have our August, December, January. Now, what we would want to do, we want to sort, okay? We want to sort this table by using the month number, okay? So go to data drill. I don't know if yours is on the data drill. Check data drill. Data drill. There's data drill there.
Is a drill through, Cindy.
Yes.
And properties.
I want to see if it's there. Check in modeling. I'm looking for sort by. Home. Let's look for it. Can someone see sort somewhere? Check format. Format. Not at all. Not at all. Okay. Now, let's go to bring the month number on the same report. Select the month number. Expand. Go to where the month number is on the values. Click on the drop down.
Where have you taken the month number? The month?
The month number on the same report.
On the or you pick the month number.
Yes. Go to data view.
You know, when you bring the month number, you can get the sort by in the column tools.
Yes, that is what I want. Yeah, that
when
is
when your cursor is on the month number.
Yes. Go there. Thank you. There's a drop down. There's a drop down there. Yes, it's already sorted now. So I wanted it to follow January, June, July, August, December. And we can still sort these by coming to the data. Go to data.
Yeah.
Data view. Yes. Then, no, on the data. Yes. Check table tools. Don't have it there. Column tools, check on the column tools. Yeah, sort by. That's what I was looking for. So we want to sort by month number. Month number. So we can sort by any column. Right now we want to sort by month number. What has happened?
Sort by another column.
Let's see. Let's sort by the sorry. Let's sort by the month.
Where are we sorting this? In the report view or in the data view?
We are sorting this on the data view. Sort by
On the
the month.
data view.
Yes. Or choose date because of the year that we have created there. Sort by the date. Sort by date. Yeah. All the cancel the year. Okay. Try sorting by year. Close and try sorting by year. The year is at the top.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Now these that we have created, they just need practice. So just keep practicing. And as we proceed with support, we'll be able to look at more of them to create better reports. We will stop there for the day. That fine?
That's fine.
Yes.
Oh.
All right, you can enjoy your Madaraka Day. Wait
You too.
for the president. I know today is Chapati Day. All things changed.
Things
not
have
like
changed.
things have changed.
Yes. Not those are not. It is not our days.
Allah.
When chapati was everything.
When chapati was everything, it would be Chapati Day.
Yeah.
These days they are all over. All right. Okay, have a lovely day.
Yeah.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.